Hey, I want to talk today about having a sense of what can and should be really different about private yoga teaching as opposed to group class teaching. So that if and when you have group class students who are curious, who want to talk to you about it, who have questions about it, these ideas roll right off your tongue. So I just want to plant these seeds for you to be thinking about. And these are all things that I've said to potential students to explain why a private lesson is so different from a group class, because many students really, sometimes they don't even know private lessons are an option. And if they do know that they're an option, they don't really understand why they would pay so much more money for a private lesson as opposed to a group class. Um, so you need to be able to talk about the different benefits and the different outcomes that they might expect in a private yoga lesson super easily. So, and the more comfortable you are with these ideas, the more easily they come out of your mouth when you're talking to a student after your group class one day. So one thing that I tell students is that they'll get a class that's really like specially designed to meet their specific needs. So they're given appropriate modifications and sequences in general and poses to help them come into an optimal, to move towards an optimal state of balance, both in their body and their movement patterns. And you don't have to say this necessarily, but in the way that they relate to themselves and in their emotional experience of themselves. So all of that really uniquely designed practice obviously can have totally different outcomes. And so it's a good thing to be able to talk to your students about when they ask. I would also tell a student that they get 100% of my attention and they can ask as many questions as they want, and we can take as much time as we need to address any concerns and to break down the poses or the practices that they're actually interested in and excited about. And I like to emphasize that. Like, we get to do what you like to do. We don't have to do the parts of the practice that you hate. Now, you guys know that I will at some point start to introduce poses and practices that may carry some physical and even emotional challenge for the student, but I don't do that in the beginning, and I certainly wouldn't advertise that. So what I would advertise is like, we get to do the parts of the practice that you like. And I think that's appealing to a lot of people. They like some of the benefits they get from their group classes. They like some parts of the experience, and there are other parts that they really don't understand, don't enjoy, don't like. And so using the idea of a private lesson as a way to say, you don't have to do the parts that you don't like anymore. We get to spend all of the time doing your favorite parts of the practice can really be a good selling point. I would also tell people that you don't have to squeeze or like rush it to get to yoga. You don't have to squeeze a yoga class into your schedule anymore, but we can choose an ideal day and time of day for your practice. And sometimes, I used to, I don't as much anymore. You guys may or may not go to see your students in their home or in their office. So they don't even have a commute anymore to the yoga studio, which can save people a lot of time. So that's a huge benefit. And then I would emphasize again that you get exactly what you need, and you get exactly what you need right now. So your physical, emotional, spiritual needs will be really honored at every lesson, and whatever kind of physical, emotional, spiritual practice you need to come into better balance, that's what you'll get. So we can have some long-term goals, some long-term things that we're working on, and at the end of the day, like when I'm there holding space for your practice, you'll get what's most useful for you in the moment. Some students will be more interested in hearing that than others, but it's definitely something to think about when you're trying to explain to a student what can be so special and different. It's not just that like overall you get a practice that's more what you need. In each moment you get a practice that's more what you need. So if you didn't sleep at all and you're totally depleted and exhausted, we'll do a practice that will hopefully help you feel rested and more energized when you leave. So it's really specifically tailored and designed to meet the students exactly where they are, give them what they need in that moment. And the more easily you can talk about that, I think the more interested people will be in having private lessons with you. So let me know how that lands. Let me know what questions you have and any other way I can support you. Bye for now.